Do we let Slacks know that odds makers usually determine their odds based off of the people who are putting money down, or?
I don't know. I don't think you should respond to him because he didn't call you DOTA capitalist.
That's true.
I think OG, that's what I'm thinking of. But then I'm thinking of like IO Core versus AM doesn't sound so great. But Troll is pretty good to, you know, get that counter matchup. I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting one for sure.
Like if it was, a bad one, I wouldn't feel good about having IO. Like I just, for me, it feels better that you would have 5 Abaddon to babysit an IO.
Yeah,
but.
30 seconds to battle.
Times the Troll net versus AM, but besides that, Catch is not the best for an anti-mage if he has a pretty good. And they finished up their draft with an Ember Spirit, another elusive hero that he plays very good against Spirit Breaker. You're not going to get successful charges versus an Ember very likely.
And I have seen some EU carries playing this IO, practicing it in pubs. I think I've seen Midway. Can't swear to it, but I think I've seen him try out IO carry like recently playing it. But a former OG member, the stand-in ILTW, I watched a pub where he was playing the IO safe lane.
Okay, cool. We got to, so me and Owen got to do a couple of the like SCA leagues and stuff. We saw Miracle with an E.
Yeah.
Miracle with an E played it. I believe one of the other players they have also played it. Which I mean, they won the game that I saw when they did it, and then they got smashed the next game when they tried it because they didn't have a good lineup around it. But it definitely did look strong. I mean, he just farmed farmed super fast. It's not the same as it was before though. It wasn't the Ags. He just went for straight damage with Dominator.
Oh really?
Yeah.
LTW and Ags. I remember that. One thing I noticed though is that hero is actually so hard to kill with its core.
Yeah.
And it's got like the damage reduction going on, the buildup of items that it has makes it pretty tanky.
And he's going to have heals in this game for the sustain. He's going to have, they're going to have a lot of different fun things that they can do in this game because also the way that Ion Shell works with a tethered target, your IO is going to be zooming around whoever he's attached to with the surge. So yeah, lots of different potential. While Viking, I feel like they have a much more straightforward draft. You look at it and you can kind of tell what they want to be doing is play around as 4 heroes very aggressively, just like they did last game, and have that AM be that farming beast.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those lineups where there's a lot of cool things that could happen with the IO. And it could look pretty much near broken, or it could just fall apart, the entire lineup. I'm not expecting that because it's OG, for God's sakes. Like, you don't expect them to really miss with this kind of strategy, especially the one that they patented themselves. So, Courier saved.
They did struggle a bit though last game when they had like one of their very practiced and very tested combos, or you know, all that. Even though, as we did see reviewing the clip, the toss appearing inside of the Chrono over Topson was a pretty detrimental thing for their game, but overall, it did seem like Viking GG had their number.
Chat wheel spam coming out nice and early from Sub.
Yep. I wonder if he goes for the point in his passive at 3. Probably not if they're having a good time bottom, but he might on the AM just to negate a lot of the damage. And Sox is just going to start pulling waves.
I heard you guys talking about Spirit Breaker before. Is that hero any good? Because I tried playing it once, and it didn't feel amazing.
I think Darkseer can kind of change the hero quite a bit, right?
Sure.
I think it just enables you, not only with Ion Shell now, how insane Surge is across the map.
Yeah.
And I have seen the new item build now on the Spirit Breaker. No, someone just be
there. To win this fight, they are. Aramis gets the first blood, and Midwan is chased away by Toby.
I've seen the new build for those Spirit Breakers, though. They go the Aghanims build, and it's like a 6 or 7 second cooldown, so you can get like sometimes 4 or 5 charges off in a fight. It's still a similar hero as what he's always been. It's RNG. You know, you get lots of bashes, he can look amazing. You get no bashes, you're probably not going to look so great.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's in a matchup that he may not be able to really gank mid lane very well. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's as an Ember, you've got two different options, right, to be able to dodge that. Slide at the right time or chains.
Looks like Thompson's having a good enough time in the mid lane anyway. Just a great matchup versus the Troll Warlord versus Ember.
Yeah, he is really owning this matchup right now.
Yeah, 23-9 to just a 12. Top lane we see the IO isn't free farming, but he's farming pretty decently.
One person we certainly expect great things from, Aramis, is Clockwork.
Oh yeah.
He did a lot of heavy lifting in game 1. I remember at one point he was like 8-0. Absolutely insane late game impact as well, including that one time where he actually just straight up got the kill on mid 1's Faceless Void because of the Aghanim Scepter. Courier's going to go down, and mid 1 is perfectly healthy because he's got an Abaddon. Pro players and their couriers, man. The getting courier kills got buffed up too. It's more value than it was, right?
Yeah, nobody can control their couriers. It's actually insane. Nobody can. Everyone just. I also feel they changed some pathing with couriers where they just intentionally run into enemy heroes or something. Like they take the route that they're gonna go around to make sure that the enemy see it.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
No tell again. Heavily pressured, extra slow coming in too. They've got the shield, looking to try to turn here.
Toby really committing there. Going for the Acres dive out. Fortunately, the Aphotic shield is pretty good.
Being a courier. Oh, he just hit level 4. He's flying at least.
They can heal each other here, but... Well, No Tail's going to be run down to Sunray, but Aramis really wants this IO, and it's a good kill to get to. That's the core. Got him, and No Tail is going to be chased away.
Yeah, Aramis is a seasoned Clockwork player for sure. He knows what he's doing. Nice little middle lane.
Shad doing a nice job of continually pulling the creep wave into the tower for him to be able to get some last hits, not trying to play underneath that ion shell too much.
Yeah, very tough to pressure AM. Like, that's one of the few melee heroes that he always has been known. It's you're fine versus Darkseer.
Yeah.
And you're always going to have that really good mana void potential later game. But then also, Darkseer has his own good thing versus AM where he can, he gets the wall illusion, and they both can be kind of good versus each other. As Thompson will get lucky, get the Arcane Rune to spawn bottom.
He's not going to be too happy with that. He's got to be careful to ensnare, especially since Spirit Breaker is in town. He actually completes the charge here. Boom. Low on mana, but Celery's actually going to come in just to make sure Boom's all right. Can't afford to have an Ember Spirit that gets too far behind.
Yep. Good little rotation to help him. I think that because of the Arcane Rune, they felt like they might be able to dive because he used to throw out the axes constantly to slow and follow up.
Mid 1 being chased, he did have No Tail coming in from the side, though, so he was able to tether away.
It's not farming so great up here, though.
No. Those levels are particularly bad.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that a lot of supports try and do right now is when they can stay out of experience range. You can do that with the IO combo. No Tail pretty much always has to be there. Soxa gets burned out of his mana.
Praying for the bashes. He has not been getting the best luck with his bashes so far.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
Top, we see them, they're trying to push the lanes in constantly, trying to find an opportunity where they can actually look to fight and bring down Toby, but Aramis, he's constantly sticking onto No Tail in mid 1.
No Tail getting a little bit low, but so is Aramis. Sio Ball is chasing him down. With the Aphotic Shields, you could actually get this kill onto Toby very close. Wasn't quite enough, though. And Aramis will look to pull the creep wave off the tower while mid 1 and No Tail pursue. I'm going to make this is an opportunity. They manage to bring that Heather into the Supernova. And with the battery assault to stop the tick back. Aramis and Toby, they scripted that one perfectly. That was beautiful.
He just hit 6 off that creep, too. Perfectly done.
Soxa, he managed to dive in, get the kill on Celery, and it looks like Shad. Well, he went the wrong direction in the loop-de-loop. Soxa does get away.
Will he get the mana void? Will he be able to get the blink mana void? Soxa's trying to hide. Nice Nice play.
There's so many different directions he could have gone.
Tranquil Boots kick
Now
back
he's going
in.
to run right into Shad, and Sox is like, damn it all.
Oh, he's got the stick, though. It would have been close anyway. I'm not sure if it would have... Actually, it probably would have gotten him.
You think so?
Right, because it's a little bit stronger now than it used to be in the past.
Yeah, I think they upped level 1, right?
Did 0.6 now instead of 0.4 or whatever it was. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been close anyway.
Yeah, he
You can see
probably
he was
thought to
thinking about
himself,
it.
like, Spirit Breaker's just a low mana hero, so...
Yeah. But he's done a great job bottom, as we said, going for that like point in his passive and just having the early ring of health. He's getting that free farm up, while in comparison the IO is not. But we see that mid matchup disparity, that 900 gold. That's pretty much the gold differential. And they're gonna, what, are they filling up the bottom mid? Yeah.
Question is, like, how great a use are they going to be able to make of these cores? Because Darkseer, Troll, and Core IO doesn't sound like it's going to be very good at moving around the map. And, like, you know, like actually going for ganks and stuff like that. Compared to an Ember Spirit who does what all three of those heroes do combined in that aspect.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like it'll be a bit hard for them to make the movements. I mean, maybe Sap is going to be the one that changed it with the Ion Shells, just at least the damage, but, I mean, yeah, the Spirit Breaker is really all they have to go for that catch. That's why it's just awkward.
They get aggressive, but the wrong time to do so because Thompson is actually making a rotation as the mid-troll. No Tail's going to join him here, so he's kind of free to dive the tower if he wants to. Midwan, though, he's had a bit of a rough start here as the IO. The Helmet Dominator's protecting him for now. Boom does manage to get ahead of it here, and Shad will connect the sandwich in Midwan and make sure he goes down into the grave.
I mean, they chose to make this IO the core
Yeah.
in this game, and it doesn't feel like it'll be that fantastic, but the other two heroes, they're still farming well. Just this Ember and Anti-Mage always, it feels like for IO, it'll be tough for him to stand toe-to-toe with them at any point in the game.
Yep.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He certainly needed a good laning phase to have that kind of survivability. Swell, Ember Spear popping in, but Soxa does manage to get the pump back there, pushing the Ember Spirit out, and with that mid battery cell, things are looking a little bit better here for OG, who continue their aggression with the help of Midwan and No Tail. Right-hand side, they're still trying to chase down that Spirit Breaker at the same time. Seller's going to get dove underneath his tier 2 Soxa. He goes back in, but changed up nicely by
Radiant's
Boom.
bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
Make sure to
tower
stop that. A
is
fine position does go down. At the same time, looks like bottom tower died to just a creep wave.
Yeah. I mean, this looks like some standard OG, so I guess that's their style. You don't have to move around the map. Just move together as 5 with somebody tethered with a creep 2 and just constantly abuse the Darkseer plus that Spirit Breaker to catch.
They're going to go for Shad here, but he's going to need a lot of ashes to be able to kill that Anti-Mage. She just doesn't take a whole lot of magic damage there. Thompson being helped out by Midwan right now.
10 heroes made it.
That and the Aphotic Shields, he can just keep on fighting constantly. I think he's still holding on to 11 of his ultimate. It's Aramis going to be caught here, trying to turn around, hook shot right before he dies. Doesn't even hit that. It's a creep. A pesky creep walks in front of him like that. They are just diving past the tier 1 tower because they've got so much sustain between all of them. They kind of can't do that, but Boom takes the ace well. He's able to get on top of some of these heroes. Really nice use of the Meteor Hammer there from Toby. Lands on top of the Spirit Breaker +1. They get a kill and return vengeance for Aramis's death, at least.
Okay. Hey, this looks like this might be one of those games where it's just non-stop aggression. It's just going to be 10 heroes duking it out for the majority of it. So, I mean, I think that's exactly what we want. I mean, this looks great. It has potential to be a very exciting game to watch. While Anti-Mage sits on the sidelines farming the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, it's not the most convincing thing for me. Like, it looks really good. They were just rolling over mid, but AM was kind of farming during that time.
Yeah, I think OG's plan is really going to just be about the five-man ball up, right? Probably look to force an early Roche. I see Thompson went for Vlad's very early on, so could be potential where if like, oh, Phoenix X gets popped, okay, we go straight into Roche with our 5-man and AM can't join. So could definitely see OG try to look for one of those like timing kind of things.
They just hope that they have like such an insane amount of sustain that they could just kind of push through.
Yeah.
Any team fights, and that is kind of where Ember Spirit's going to have some issues, is that he may find it hard to be able to burst heroes down. Fortunately, Ember Spirit very often does not lack for continuous damage as long as he doesn't overcommit.
Yeah. Straight to the mid lane to push. Over and over again. Ion Shell on bottom lane from Seb. Aramis doesn't want to commit forward with his hook shot. With no tail right behind, he knows he can't really do so.
Holy moly! They really want to protect this mid tower. Thompson. Well, he really wants to get into any kind of decent fight he can.
They got good information out of it though now, right? The Grimstroke showed. They know there's 3 heroes in the mid lane.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy how fearless he is. Because if he gets hook shot and then the cogs push them back, he'd be like underneath the tier 1 tower, separated from the Abaddon. But he's like, nah, I'm good. I think they've got battle trance. I've got
I think it's afraid because they don't know where Io is during long. They probably assume that he's farming, but he could just be sitting, he could just join really quickly right behind too. He's got to relocate too.
Same goes to the Spirit Breaker, who can show up at any time.
And they don't want AM to get involved, really. Like, they want him to just sit back and farm. So they stall the tower for some time there, but eventually, from OG's persistence, they will be able to get it down. Now they have another aura picked up. That drum is finished on the Spirit Breaker. Shad will have his Battle Fury after this tower. Got 15 gold away.
Well, it's always going to be annoying for him that Spirit Breaker can kind of just chase him down.
Oh, Aramis survives! Oh my god. 30 HP.
It's a value bracer right there.
Dire are scanning.
Celery. Warding play. This is the spot Spirit Breaker charge ward when my anti-mage is trying to split push.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely really necessary to have at least one of those down. They already had the one in the river below, but one up higher. Anywhere closer to the base is always what I always say. It's like when you're playing with Spirit Breaker, a ward close to base is just key.
Yeah. Very often that's the kind of angle he's going to be looking for, right? He's not going to charge straight down river. That becomes fairly obvious.
They want to try to defend their towers, though, as best as they can. They bring the same 3 that were at the mid lane.
Get some early damage on a Toby. Soxa threatening that ultimate, now being chased down by Ace. Well stunned, though, is going to be trapped inside the cogs. Make short work, it looks like fine move, but they're going to be able to get on the Supernova on the right-hand side. That's really bad place by Toby. They can keep OG inside of it. Be massive, but he managed to get out. Looks like no ultimate for Soxa. He gets caught by the hook shot, ends up going down, but his troll is still decently healthy. They hit him the surge, and he's just going to keep on trucking. The cogs actually puts them out, but not enough to be able to get the kill into No Tail. Still stuck, though. Toby should be enough to finish him off. Double kill there for boom. Again, Viking GG just trying to kite back OG deeper and deeper into their side of the map. OG, though, even though they are kind of being kited, they have enough sustain to make it look good.
Absurd amount of sustain, too. Darkseer now having his mech finished up, so that tether heal is that much more significant. And they went for aura build this game, right?
Yeah.
Drums, Vlad's, mech, they're looking to battle, looking to just keep the aggression going, because they know if this game gets to a point where AM is going to have this crazy peak timing around as usual, right? Like that 30-minute mark. OG needs to have a lead, or needs to have the troll at least be able to have a chance of just fighting it. Here we go. So they go for this Roche now. After that egg was used, as we were talking about earlier. Boom's going to try to slow it down.
This feels like such an all-in, high-risk, high-reward sort of strategy, because in this context of the Roshan, I'd say, like Viking GG, if they win a fight around Roshan, say they even take away the Aegis or something like that, I feel like this whole lineup just falls over at that point in time. Like, you have heavily committed your troll, no SNY, satanic sort of build. He went for a team fight build. He's been running around with his allies. Like, he gets like 1 or 2 deaths on the board, and it starts becoming anti-mage time.
Definitely. Tops it. He's looking for Shad. Spots him, but Blink is back up any minute. Yep. Okay, well, they do kill that camp who's holding a Ring of Aquila, so they get the Ring of Aquila.
It's a pretty nice item.
Yeah.
They wanted some more auras.
Yeah.
And they just found one.
Stack them all up. Everyone looks relatively healthy. Io, mid one a little low on mana. Ooh, Aramis. Rare miss.
Yeah, he's, despite having a baller game 1, gets the 200 gold off of the Helmet Dominators. Some creep, so maybe that's all that he wanted all along. Boom. Using his Yule Scepter to keep that troll at bay. So I think they're going to be able to catch Aramis, though, thanks to Saksa.
Instant smoke. Looks like it's spotted, though. Dark's here. And is it going to be smoking to the Roche? Yes, it is. They also have a ward scouting where the AM is. Buyback from Aramis. We'll push them out of the pit.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Still only level 1 egg on the Phoenix. Still has not quite hit level 12.
Under attack.
So that egg's still very likely to get brought down if it does get utilized. But we're seeing the levels coming out from Viking. They're 2 level 13s and a level 11 in comparison to, 2 level 11s and 113 on OG. So OG might have the gold lead, but it doesn't really look like the experience is so much in their favor.
Yeah, an experience pretty big.
Yeah.
For a lineup with Ember Spirit, Phoenix, like these zeros can operate without a whole lot of net worth.
Yeah, just their skill set alone is super potent. And that's why that Thompson has BKB, right? Pretty much finished.
Boom. He does have his shackles coming up, so he should manage to get this kill. And jumps away rather easily, so nice pickup there for Boom. There's the BKB from Thompson. Yeah. You always love that combination where you're Sand King or Clockwork or something. I'm going to go in stun. You put Inkswell on me, we've got a nice chain stun, and there is not a damn thing that enemy opponent can do.
Splitting them up across the map very quickly there. Aggressive move by Boom. He's so confident, especially when he sees Spirit Breaker. That's what we said, right? Boom sees Spirit Breaker. He's like, okay, there's no chance of me really getting killed. That's the only thing I have to be concerned about. And then top, they know the AM can make an aggressive play onto the IO. Now they claim the gold lead, and I'd have to imagine the experience lead as well. OG not really pressing the issue forward as much as I feel like they have to versus this AM. This is a pretty good AM game. Constantly scouting out that Roche makes it very difficult for OG to actually commit.
Chasing after Aramis here. Does have the hook shot up if he wants to try and hook to one of his allies here. It seems that distance that he had in the first place was just enough.
Oh, nice. Saksa is going for the Axe build. Love it.
All right, let's see if the egg can actually complete it. And see how much it pays off for him. Obviously, it would be very value against all of these hypermobile heroes.
Back to the Roche. It's going to get scouted by a rocket any second now. They're already aware of it. It's a good place for Viking to fight, too, with Phoenix. Let's get the meteor hammer dropping down. They'll dodge it.
At the same time, I think this is a fight OG really loves Viking GG to take control. They had that BKB on but he was forced to use it as well as his ultimate there out of fear. Nice catch from Aramis. Intercepting Saksa as soon as he goes for that charge in, keeps him inside of the Supernova. That's going to be an easy pick, and Boom is going to look for more. Look at that on the other side. They do have Shad caught inside the wall of replica. Couldn't burn out quite enough mana to keep him from blinking away, though. Boom. He's going to be caught by the AM illusion. The Manhunter, think about this so much now. He's been burnt out of his mana, and he will not have the same luxury of escaping like that Animage did. Aramis is trying to create the space for him, but OG, there goes that surge. Look at him posting away. Thompson, running at the speed of light, overtakes the Clockwork for a secondary kill.
Ooh, that looked like it was going to get a little dicey there for OG for a second, but yeah, that illusion just comes out. Ruins poor Ember, and now they're continuing chase with that buyback from Saksa. They're going to get another kill, and now they can go for the Roche. Egg was used, everything was pretty much committed. There's an easy cleanup now for OG. That looked like one of the scariest starts of a fight ever, with your troll popping battle trance and BKB and just unable to do anything.
Yeah. But a good read by Sevs. As soon as he sees the Animage, throws out the wall of replica. Once he gets that illusion, AM has to blow away. So, okay, he's going to have no impact. And then Ember Spirit just ran right through that area, and I don't think he realized what he was stumbling into.
Immediately Shad getting charged up again too. keeping tabs on him, and now Troll, the objective taker.
Yeah, if Viking GG lose this game, they can probably look back to that one fight around the Roshan pit being maybe one of the moments that turned this game as OG. Now, it's tier 2. Looks like they're going to be trying to go for the Aegis. Does manage to get off his ultimate. He's still going to be Yuled up in the air. He can get any damage on anybody. He still has the heal coming out from the IO. But yeah, it looks like he's going to go down here inside the Supernova as well. Is he going to come back into it? Oh, and immediately get on. Perfectly timed up with a Sunray. Beautifully lined up and laying into the IO. Nice backing in though with a charge on through. A 3-man stun as a result. A bounce back. Put him back into the Troll, and the Troll got the root. Even though he bounced back to Spirit Breaker's ultimate, he immediately was repositioned into an ensnare.
That actually worked out in their favor pretty nicely. 40 seconds, AM's dead. And that vacuum charge, something that we didn't mention about before, catches perfectly at the 4 hero. Saksa will play with his life now for going a little too aggressive. Thompson burning him, but trying to stick on Boom.
OG. You gotta chill out just a little bit more here, friends. As now the Troll has overcommitted himself, and Boom seeing that. Okay, 2 down. We can chase the rest pretty easily. They're gonna catch Sab and all these TPs out. Okay. The mid one, IO, and No Tail were able to get out, but still, it was OG who had a really nice lead for themselves, took a nice early tier 2. We could have just gone, okay, we're going to get shrines and stuff like that, but no.
I'm surprised they actually stayed and persisted there.
Yeah.
Even though AM wasn't up, like the egg, you know, everything was coming back for Viking to be able to look for that fight. Look how much the Ember got out of it. He's level 18 now. It was like a pretty massive swing, actually, in the grand scheme of it all. Look at these levels. 18, 18, 16 now, just off of that.
To degress and just get the best of him. The Heaven's Halberd will disarm the AM for now.
Boom.
Six, 1, and 2. Is the Ember Spirit 0, 1, and 2. Animated, you can see what kind of game Viking GG is trying to play right now. It is a game of 4 versus 5 while our Animated tries to get big. Problem is he can't do that normal, annoying split pushing thing so much because of fear of the Spirit Breaker plus the relocate.
Yeah. And he's almost got that big item, the Basher, finished up. But we see the IO. This is, I think, almost a similar build that I saw from the SEA guys. Halberd into Deso. I think in the SEA it was actually a Maelstrom in the game, but he wasn't versus an AM. He was versus someone that, you know, he actually wanted magic damage instead. Saksa. Go back away. Meteor Hammer will connect on the tower, though. Nice little chunk of damage.
Yeah, force the TP rotation. Good amount of damage. We know where the Spirit Breaker is, which means the AM can play a little bit more freely.
I liked what I actually saw Seb. We saw queued up for a second there. Seb, not only does he have a clumsy net, which is phenomenal with wall versus an AM, but he's also going for Hex, and he was not too far from it when I last saw. He had like 3,200 towards the Mystic Step. They get the charge on the AM.
Got the vacuum back in, and they get the bash. He was halfway through that animation for Blink. But considering the ensnare as well as the bash opportunities, there's no way he should have been able to get out. Now they're going to look for more. The Animage is dead. Saksa looks to find some more. He's going to try and chase down Boom, who already has a Remnant out on the side. They saw it that far away, though. Saksa's here. He's got another Remnant up by the BKB. Now he's been ensnared. Sorry, Bash. Bash first, then ensnared. And OG... Spirit Breaker non-stop 5-manning at you with the Spirit Breaker.
It's working. He's finding the opportunities. They've claimed great map control, and they've actually taken out, looks like almost all of the wards from Viking. They only have that one ward in the mid lane, so Saksa, he's free reign to move around here. And all this movement, speed, and mobility, they can easily catch up to him. Deso, plus that troll. Quick Rax getting brought down. They're actually going to have to buy back. Quick BKB, and Thompson just wants nothing to do with that. Mid one is definitely preparing for the super late game too, right? The attack target Attack tethered target as well at the same time, right? Yeah.
That'll add so much damage to the troll.
That's way later on, but
yeah,
there's always potential for this insane scaling that they can have because of this item build that he's going for too. And now we're seeing, you know, AM, he may be pretty farm, but he is fragile if he gets caught by a charge.
So what do you do to fix that after the Abyssal Blade? Because I feel like if you try and go Butterfly, you're not going to have much of a timing window before Troll gets MKB.
It's like, do you want to go for BKB? Like, ugh.
Yeah.
He might have to. Now there's also a Hex, like we said, finished up on Seb on that Darkseer. It's a lot more for the AM to play around. He's just going to have to be careful.
Thompson thinking about going back for that SNY, and then I presume Satanic after that. So a bit delayed, but like a heavy team fight build, making use of a very active Troll. And then with the map control that they bought off of that, he can continue to non-stop farm and go back for that traditional carry build.
Yep. He'll get it all pretty quickly too. Sock's also about to have Aghanims finished up. A couple big items definitely for OG, going to be finished in the next few moments. They do have double outposts claimed at the moment as well. You see, yeah, Shad not quite yet going for the outpost if he wants to. Guard their base, starting to get pressured.
Thompson just keeps it up. The animate has not been forced back yet.
Sustain. Holds his ground though. Meteor Hammer.
Meteor Hammer comes down on the Troll's head. He quickly shakes it off though. The sustain offered by Lifesteal plus that IO. It's right for BG.
Shad wants his Abyssal before he goes for anything like this here.
Yeah.
It makes it just such an easier way to go for targets. It's not quite going to have it before the Rax is gone though.
No, it's not.
Has fallen.
Mid just got taken for free. OG, despite this kind of tower lead they have, they're only up by 2k net worth, so it's a little bit deceiving that they're taking the mid lane of Barracks already. And yet, you could probably still call this an even-ish game. I'd give it like, what, 65% to OG?
Yeah, it's all dependent on a few quick catches that can change his. Oh, okay, he gets out.
DOTA Plus doesn't believe so. 88% to the favor of them.
Wow.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, Troll has many answers to the AM, and he's shown that he's not falling behind in net worth.
Yeah, I guess it must be counting a few things in. It's like the core matchup of AM versus the IO is great, but versus Troll and versus Troll is not the best. Darkseer has his ways to play around him because when AM gets stronger, Darkseer gets stronger.
Yeah.
So it does seem like OG does have quite a lot of solutions, at least for that anti-mage.
Those shots start things out, catching No-Tail and isolating him from the rest of the team, but they have to stay back to borrow time. Allows No-Tail to shrug things off. At the same time, AM trying to make his initiation onto the Darkseer. Force out the wall of Replica before he goes away. Now he's going to try and sandwich back in. Aramis making use of those spider legs, trying to get away from Saksa right now. Oh, be able to do so for the right-hand side. Emberspear gets locked down by the Troll. Boom, has got to be careful of that deadly Troll.
They're so
Once
fast.
It goes down, man. There is so much catch thanks to a Darkseer with an IO. Hey, at least Shad does manage to get the kill on No-Tail, but it's still not a happy occasion because it's still the cores that are up and alive. They do manage to get off the ultimate. Manage to get the bash. The supernova looks like it may just explode. They're still going for it, but yes, it successfully explodes onto the Troll. Now they're going to try and chase down mid one. Shad catching up to him. That tether takes him a long, long ways away, but Shad's not going to let up just yet. The Phantom onto him. The scythe goes out. They tether up, sharing that movement speed. They get away, but No-Tail. He did buy back for this. They managed to get a silence onto the AM with no Manta. Maybe they could actually turn around and kill him, but both sides de-escalating here, though it may ramp up again with the double damage picked up by the AM. Who knows what could happen? Well, apparently he didn't feel that good about it because it just TP'd him.
Yeah, he's just resetting, it looks like. Not going to cut any waves or anything like that. Just wanted to get... Okay. Now they're going to look for their own aggressive play. Ember not up for about 15 seconds, though.
Radiant
And his confidence, by the way, in your supernova positions. He's going for a refresher instead of an aghanim scepter.
Oh, wow.
And so jump forward, using the abyssal blade, trying to blow up the dark sphere. He's already burned so much mana, he can get off a mana point here in the end. And he has it up, but he's being stunned up for so long. Now the cycling down, chain stunned up, and no opportunity for that big mana explosion to death. And probably a little bit more. Celery, he is no doubt. He doesn't have the movement speed to get away from this, but the one hope would be Toby. But Saksa, he's so damn fast thanks to the surge charge combo. They easily catch up with him as well. 2 turns to 4, turns to a free Roshan for OG.
Some pretty game-winning item builds coming out from Seb in particular this game. Just this Hex, like that McIntyre Hex rush is just so impactful. 7-1 to 10. He's been perfect with his play so far. These vacuum walls, the vacuums into the charges, it seems to be getting... He just gets the AM every single time. He's got his number.
Yeah. Instant disables plus disables through right clicks. They're just able to ignore that whole spell shield thing.
Yeah. He just nets him, then he hexes him inside of the wall with his full team beating on him. Saksa.
Look at that. They're just going for the tier 4s right now. 30 seconds on the clock for the Anime Age. Viking GG. They're going to have to finish this out 3 versus 5. And I don't think they can. I guess we'll see. Aegis is up on Thompson. Guess it depends on how much OG wants to be able to die. They're going to go for it right now. They're going to bring Aramits down. He does have a flyback. There goes the Meteor Hammer. Supernova number 1 going up. By Thompson quickly deals with the Aegon. And Aramits a new one with his ultimate going off. He's going to chase down Ember Spirit underneath the shrine. And he goes in just as fast as he goes out.
What was that movement speed there? 1,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my god.
That is straight up broken. And sure enough, we said kind of at the start of this is really cool synergies here with the IO and stuff, but it could go terribly wrong. It's OG though. You don't expect them to miss on these kind of strategies.